back to our channel. Today it will be just me. So you guys really liked my What Retailer Workers Wish You Would Know Michael's video, and so I thought I would do a video about some fun and crazy customer stories. Now I don't know anyone's name except I'll say one person's name because they were so cute. So I'm not like bashing anyone, it's just so funny the things you see and are aware of when you're in retail. And these things I never expected to happen. And so, in no particular order, here they are. Now I have a notes app all about like different stories because I was expecting to do this video. But if I think of another one, then yeah, we'll just throw it in there. Now I also don't have dates for these, so somewhere between the last 3 months, I started 3 months ago until now. So anytime between then, this is when the stories could have happened. All right, so we see like a good amount of kids, but I was expecting to be able to see like a lot more, like toddlers and babies and stuff. But there really hasn't been that many, which is kind of sad because I love like kids, and so they're just so fun and like, you know, they just think you're amazing even though they never saw you, and so that's fun, you know. Well, one time this little boy, this mom had like a really big like cart full of stuff, so we were there while we were like talking, and I found out he was 3, and this kid was like I feel like he was kind of like flirting with me. It was the cutest thing. And so I started talking to him like, oh yeah, you're 3. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like, what do you like? And he was like, he would not talk to me. He would just like turn his head and like wink. Oh my goodness. It doesn't make much sense as I'm like explaining it to you, but like honestly, that kid got some moves. It was so cute. And so he kept like winking at me and like turning his head, and so cute. And so at the end, like, you know, you wave to the kids because that's fun. And so I was just like, bye, have like a good day. And he was like he hid behind his mom and he stuck like a little hand out, and I was just like, my heart. So this kid was super cute. Definitely a fun story. Also with kids, I have found that there's, well, if they're like above 5 to like, I don't know, teenagers, they're normally either like super disrespectful and rude. Like you can tell immediately that these kids have problems, and not meaning that in like a mean way, but like it's kind of on the parents, you know. And like you can hear them in the store, or they're like yelling in line, or they're pushing, I don't know, it happens a lot. So that's the most common one. Or especially with like 10 plus, the kids just like don't care and they just like stare at you, which is also uncomfortable. But I was like so impressed by this one family. So it was a mom and 3 boys, and she was pregnant. The baby was in like you know, sitting in the cart, and the 2 older brothers were like standing like next to the cart. They were helping their mom like unload the cart, and it was so cute. And they bought like these big frames and stuff, which I thought like the 4-year-old, you know, might be a little risky, but they were so sweet. Like honestly, they were so cute. And so they handed it to me to scan, and they were like too big for a bag, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think I have a bag big enough for these. She's like, oh, that's okay, I'll just carry it. And so I gave it to her, and the older boy was like, oh no, Mom, I don't want you to carry that. So he like gently took it from her. It was so cute. Like I told my dad that later, and I was like, why didn't I tell her how well her kids were behaved? I didn't want to seem weird because I'm only a teenager, but like I was very impressed. They were so sweet. And then the older brother, they were like getting their stuff and had some bags, and the older brother was like, get the bag from Mom, don't let her hold stuff. And it was like so cute. So that's parenting done right. So sweet. And they were just like protecting their mom and like helping her out. And so that was super sweet. Okay, so now we're gonna get in the juicy story. So I have not gotten yelled at that much, which honestly kind of surprised me because you hear retail and you hear like extreme crazy stories. This is kind of one of those stories. I only have a couple, but this is definitely one of them. So this was the first time a customer like yelled at me, like so mad. It was kind of an issue. And it was only like I think my second week or third week. Like I was pretty new, like right after Christmas. Well, when she came to the register, she was like, normally we're like, oh, how are you? Did you find everything? Like whatever. And she was just like not very responsive. So, you know, you kind of had to read those just to see how much they want to talk, which is fine. And she had she was buying like a rolling cart, like the ones with the wheels and like the little shelves. And we have a ton of those in Michael's, so we sell them like all the time. So that wasn't uncommon, but she wanted to buy that first, and then her cart, like all her other stuff, separate. Now, a lot of people do this, like to separate receipts, or they're buying something for a friend, or I don't know, whatever. So I was like, of course, like this is fine, whatever. And so I rung her up and got her receipt, and then I started like the next order. And then like as I was scanning like the first item, like right away, she was like, why didn't you give me the rest of the receipt? Like, you really need to give me that. That's not yours to keep, like whatever. And I was like so confused. I literally handed her the receipt. I asked her if she wanted it printed, and I gave it to her. And then she kept saying this. And so I was just like, I don't know, what do you mean? Like, I can help you out. And she was just, like, this whole time her voice was raising. Like, she went from not wanting to talk to me to, like, shouting, where's my receipt? And then she's like, you didn't give me the coupon that always comes with the receipt. That's why I had to do 2 orders so I get a receipt for all this other stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think we do that. I can ask my manager if you'd like. And then she was just like, no, like, I know you guys do this. Like, I was just in here like 2 months ago, which is actually a long time for policies and whatever, but didn't say that. And she was like, well, how long have you worked here? You probably don't know, and like, you're probably doing it all wrong. Like, she actually said that to me. Okay, very rude. And she was like, how long have you worked there? And I was like, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, and I've never seen this. And she was like, oh my word, like, only 2 weeks, like, this kid knows nothing. Which, to be fair, was probably true, but I knew enough, like, we don't give out a coupon with receipts. Anyway, so then she was like very upset. She was rolling her eyes, and she was like she still had a cart full of stuff. She was kind of forcefully putting things down and like kind of shoving them at me, and like so rude. And she bought some like candles, and so we asked like, do you want your candles wrapped? And she was like, no, like literally done. She went from like screaming in my face, not even wanting to talk to a manager, which I was totally fine to get her like my manager, because you know they didn't have to deal with that. And she was like, no, I don't want to talk to a manager. And then all this. And so this happened for like her whole transaction. Remember, she had like a cart full of stuff, and she was literally just like death staring at me like the whole time. Very uncomfortable. Since we did 2 transactions, I had to ask for her rewards again, and I realized like not to do it at the beginning, because that's when she started to get upset. So I just did my thing, you know. And so when I asked her again, she just like threw out my phone. Like, she was like this, like literally in my face. Like, I couldn't even scan it if I wanted to. It was like right here. And she was just like, here. I printed her receipt. I gave it to her, and I was like, okay, have a nice day. She literally just like snatched the receipt from my hand. I was like holding it out. She like ripped it from my hand. She grabbed the bags, and she literally didn't say another word. I was like, no. It was a problem. I talked to my manager about that later, and she was like, yeah, there's nothing else you could have done. You could have called us up anyway, but that probably would have just made her more upset. And like, actually, I don't know, it was kind of an issue. I don't have any regrets of how I acted. I feel like I treated her very kindly and graciously. I tried to help her and like call my manager and like help her and stuff, but that was her response. So, I mean, that was definitely the most extreme story, the most extreme like customer I've had. But there's people are crazy. Okay, So then there was, so I don't know why, but a lot of people really struggle with the coupons. Like, so many people, it's kind of hilarious. Like, they don't know where to find coupons after we tell them, like, go to Michael's, whatever, or their app isn't working and all that. So we had to know how to like navigate the website and stuff so we can help people, whether they listen or not. You know, that's your choice. But so this one person, she came up super nice, like whatever. She was like giving me her stuff. I was bringing her out and I asked for rewards. I got her rewards. And finally at the end, I told her and she's like, oh wait, I have a coupon. One, she did not, there was a line. She did not look for it at all in the line, to my knowledge. She didn't, definitely not do it while I was there. She was not on her phone while I was checking out her like 10 things. So this also happened a lot. So I was like, okay, we'll help her through it. She literally would not listen at all. Not that she had to, but she was adamant about getting this coupon, which like it probably would have saved her like $15 or something. So I understand. But I was like, you know, you can go to michaels.com and try this. She's like, oh no, I got an email. So she started scrolling, literally scrolling for like probably 50 plus emails. I was like, well, you could search your email, like search Michaels, it should come up. And she didn't do that, for one. She just kept like scrolling and then she found it. Well, the barcode wasn't loading and I couldn't even see it. It was just like the header. And really thought I knew what I was doing either. Right? Like I was trying to help her. Anyway, she was just so frustrated with herself and her phone. She like kept like force restarting it, like power off, enter the password, scroll through the emails again, and then it would come up like 2 seconds late. Like she didn't, so odd. She was just like 2 seconds and then like forced restart it, and then she was like, oh, I just need to restart my phone. It's pretty slow at our Michael's, so like that's fair. But this was like already going on 5 minutes. I'm not exaggerating because I was, you know, I was looking at the screens and I was looking at her. The time was right there. It was at least 5 minutes at this point. So she restarted, literally nothing. Like nothing was happening. Huge line, 3 other cashiers to register. Like this was getting kind of annoying. And so she like forced restarted it. And then she was like, oh, well, is it on the Michael's website? I was like, oh goodness. I told this lady it's already on the website like several times. Anyway, I was like, yes, like you can go to michaels.com, go under coupons, it'll be right there. So she tried it. She entered Michael's was slow, and then she forced restarted again, like with the power button. She did this probably 5 more times. Like literally this person did not understand how to find a coupon. And she kept like canceling all her like recent apps, so she had to reload the app. This lasted literally 10 minutes, people. Like 10 minutes. And then at the end, she still couldn't even get it. And that's because she kept like forced restarting. And I was like, you know, maybe just let it load a minute. Sometimes it takes a little longer here, whatever. She closed out her phone and reopened it probably like 30 times. And I'm not exaggerating. Like this person was very impatient, but it made it last a lot longer, you know. So after 10 minutes, she was like, fine, forget it. So she restarted her phone again, like full blackout, on and off, restarted again. And she just like threw her phone in her purse. She's like, I know I have it on my phone somewhere, but it's not working. You really need to get your internet checked. All this stuff. I couldn't even see the coupon. You know, like we can't really honor that. And then she was upset I couldn't honor that. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't do it without seeing it, but you know, maybe next time you can screenshot it or print it off. Those normally work faster. I was really trying to help this lady out because it was an interesting situation. And so she was just like, fine, whatever. And so she paid, like she threw her credit card in and then just like got the receipt and walked away. It was a long time. And my during this, like in the middle of this, my manager actually came up to me. Like he saw that I was like, with one customer for like more than 5 minutes, which never happens. And she didn't even have that much stuff. She only had like 10 things. It wasn't like a whole cart full. And he even came over. He was like, yeah, is everything going all right? Like, did your machine shut down? Like, what's happening? I was just like, no, she's just trying to find a coupon. We should be good. He asked me later about that. He was like, so when were you done? When did she finally find her coupon? And I was like, well, she didn't. It took literally more than 10 minutes. Didn't find a coupon. Line got longer. All that. Very stressful. I can't remember if it happened when I was first hired. It was probably like around New Year's because we were still really busy up to like January. So that was another story. If you are trying to have a coupon, first tip, always have it ready before if you absolutely at all can. If you can't or if you forget, which is, fair, then know how to use a phone and then be patient. Like, oh my word, it could have happened in 2 minutes if she would have listened to me and just like let it wait out. I have no doubt in my mind. And also, like, because of COVID, I can't touch her phone. Like, that's actually one of our policies now. Offer, like, oh, I can pull that right up for you. Right up for you. Which she probably wouldn't let me anyway. But, anyway, that was a situation. Alright, let's go on to... Oh, okay, so even just last week, there were some more kids that came, and it was so cute. There was a lot of kids last week, which made me so happy. Kids just like light it up, especially if they're under 5, like so cute, So the line was like kind of long. It was me and another girl in register. In the line, I saw these 2 girls playing, literally same height. They look identical. Obviously, they're twins. Okay, wearing the same outfit. They wore the same mask. It was St. Patrick's Day, so they had the same like hair bow thing. And so as they came up, like 3 in line after like 2 minutes or something, they came up and the one girl, she looks up at me. She's like a little kid. And she was like, do you know that we're twins? And I was like, yeah, I wondered if you were. And she was like, I was like, so do you like being twins? Because like she came right up and told me that, so I assumed she did. She's like, oh yes, we love being twins. And she was so cute. And then the other girl was like, yes, we do. And like talking. They had the same voice, like, oh my goodness, so cute. And this whole time, they were like buying like Easter stuff and whatever. This whole time, they were just talking to me. I don't even think their mom said like anything. Like, she was just letting them talk to me. And it was like the highlight of my week. And these girls, I was like, what's your names? And they're like, oh, I'm Alice. This is Emily. Oh, we're so cute. And so I was like, so when's your birthday? And they're like, oh, our birthday's in April. And I was like, my birthday's in April too. I was like, oh, when's your birthday? And they said it was the 4th. And I was like, oh my word, we have like our birthdays really close. Like, you know how kids get excited about that? Both of them literally had the same expression. They were like so excited that this random cashier had a birthday 3 days after they did. So they're going to turn 5 on the 4th. They are so cute. They're excited to be 5. And then they're like, and then next year we can go to school because we're big girls now. I'm like, oh, so cute. Okay. Kids are just so fun. All right. Last story. So this also happened last week. Another kid. We'll end on a happy note. So, it was her and her mom, and she was holding a pack of Skittles, and her mom was like putting the stuff on the counter, And so she was like, oh, I got Skittles, like telling me that, and she was so excited. I was like, oh, I see that. They're so fun. She was like, these make me so happy. Thank you, Mama. And like, she actually said that. Like, I wrote it down right after because it was so cute. And then she like hugged them, and she had like the cutest little like hug thing. And then her mom was so sweet. She was like, honey, we need to let her have them so Mommy can pay for them. And she was like, oh yes, I want to have my Skittles. So she like gave them to me. and then like I gave them right back. And they finished checking out. She was still like holding her Skittles, and they paid, and then they started walking away. And Mom was like, "Thank you," and the girl was like, "Thank you for the Skittles," and like so cute. They walked like 5 feet away, and the girl was like, "Isn't she so pretty?" Like talking to her mom, and I just about melted. Like her mom's like, "Yeah, she is. You should tell her that." And then the girl turned around and, oh my word, she was like, "You're so pretty." I was like, okay, that literally made my day. Probably my week. That was so cute. So fun. Anyway, those are just some of the stories I wrote down or remembered. Retail is kind of a crazy, wild place sometimes, but most of the time, at least at our store, it's pretty nice people, you know? So, if you didn't watch our first Michael's video about things that every retail worker wants you to know, I definitely would recommend it. I will leave it in the description. Try to be a nice human. Have your coupons ready. That can be the moral of this story time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. See how crazy people are, and then just see how nice people are. And so, have a great day, and we'll see you in a video very soon.